Have you ever wondered why we put trees up in our home and decorate them during Christmas time? Ever wonder why people kiss under mistletoe, or why people burn a Yule log? Well, you're about to find out. Hey lunatics, it's Lady Luna, and today we're taking a deep dive into the strange origins of Christmas. If you're new here, my name is Lady Luna, and I love making videos all about mystical and metaphysical topics, so be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell if you're into those kind of topics. What we know as Christmas started as an ancient Norse pagan holiday called Yule or Yuletide. Yule is a holiday still celebrated by many pagans today. Traditional pagans believed that such time of the year symbolized the goddess or the lady giving birth to her son or the Lord. The following Sabbats or other pagan holidays for the rest of the year mark his growth, and then as Samhain approaches, that represents the Lord's death. But of course, Yule returns again the next year and symbolizes rebirth in that way. The returning of the sun in the warmer seasons was symbolic to pagan cultures of the goddess giving birth to her son, the god, and his light and blessing coming into the world, particularly to help them grow crops, as crops grow best when they can get sunshine. To symbolize the sun returning, people would bring evergreen trees into their home and decorate them with apples. This was to symbolize the greenery of spring and summer months being maintained even in the coldest of winter, as evergreen trees never fade or shed leaves. They originally decorated the tree with candles to represent the light of the sun, and fruit such as apples to represent a plentiful harvest to come. Over time, the popular apples were replaced by Christmas ball ornaments, which most people use today on Christmas trees. The Yule log was burned during this time as a protective blessing over the home. They hung a wreath on the door as a protection against any harmful spirits who wished to enter their home. And they of course hung mistletoe, as that was considered a plant representing fertility, which is why people still kiss under it today. In ancient Rome, they celebrated a holiday 1 week before every winter solstice that was called Saturnalia. This holiday revered the sun god Saturn, known to the Greeks as Kronos. Saturn, who is also known as a sun god, was the god of agriculture, so much like the Norse cultures welcomed back the sun god at Yule during the cold of winter. The Romans celebrated the god Saturn in order to welcome in blessings for their crops. Believe it or not, Jesus Christ was not actually born on December 25th. The reason that we celebrate his birth on that day is because during the 4th century in Europe, the Catholic Church tried to convert more pagan people into their faith by making certain pagan holidays associated with Christian themes. Yule and Saturnalia became Christ's Mass, now Christmas, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Other holidays like Samhain became All Saints' Day, as we discussed in another video that I made recently on the strange history of Halloween. If we look deeper into the actual birth of Jesus Christ, however, we can see some very interesting parallels between the Nativity and Yule. Many scholars believe Jesus was born sometime in the spring. Yule is about the lady giving birth to the Lord. In the pagan tradition, the goddess gives birth to the god as her firstborn. Then when he came to earth, he experienced a rebirth into the physical world. We can see this symbolized in the pagan wheel of the year. For modern pagans, these are typically the 8 main holidays or Sabbats that they celebrate throughout the year, and each Sabbat serves symbolically as a representation of the god's progression in his life and to his death. Every year he is reborn again. During such holidays, the main event was partying, feasting, drinking hot beverages and booze, and dancing around bonfires. However, they still very often exchanged gifts just like we do today. These gifts looked quite different than our gifts do today. Instead of iPhones, video games, and gift cards, people instead exchanged things that would help one another through the long, cold winter. Examples of this included home-baked bread or other food, clothing, cups and spoons, or writing tablets and writing tools. It was a lot more practical back then, but it made perfect sense for survival. Now I know what you may be thinking. What about Santa Claus? Well, his history is super fascinating too. So I plan to make a separate video all about the strange origin of Santa Claus, and believe me, you will be amazed to hear his history. before you watch that next video, be sure and subscribe to this channel and also leave a comment telling me your favorite Christmas tradition to let me know you got this far in the video. Thanks for watching and have a very Merry Christmas.